Hey, what's up, you guys? Jason Wheeler here with FastPacedLoans.com. I am a Bay Area mortgage broker and direct lender right here in the California Bay Area, Diablo Valley. The main reason that I am making this quick video for you guys is I wanted to go ahead and address the 6 most common questions that I get asked every single day. Okay, I have people that call me on a daily basis that want to buy real estate or get their real estate financed, whether it's to purchase property or refinance their property. And I come across the same 6 questions on a regular daily basis with people that are I'm talking to for the initial first time in regards to this subject. So what I want to do is put this quick crash course together so that you can go ahead and in your research, you can go ahead and get these questions answered without having to talk to somebody. That's what's most important, is you can get your questions answered when you have questions and get educated about the process. That's what's key. So I'm going to go through that, and I'm hoping to get it done in about 15 minutes or so, so I appreciate it. Before I do anything else, what I really want to do is just say thank you. Thank you very much. If you're following me on my Facebook page or Twitter or any of my social media accounts, or if you've reviewed me on Yelp, thank you for being a client, a customer, and a follower. I could not be in business without you, and I truly appreciate you being here on this quick presentation with me. If you haven't connected with me yet, feel free to do that. Okay, you could go to Google, check me out on Google, and go to my Facebook profile, Yelp, anywhere. I am pretty easy to find on the web, and you're welcome to connect with me or contact me anytime to ask me your lending or real estate questions. And I want to encourage you, if I'm not your guy, if I'm not the person that you want to ask somebody. Ask somebody that you know, get a referral. It's important, just really important that you get your questions answered. So with that, let's just go ahead and dive right into the meat and the content of what I want to produce here. Why are you here? Okay, the main reason why you're probably here is you stumbled upon this video because you're interested in real estate. You're interested in buying real estate or refinancing your current real estate, and you have questions. You don't know where to start, and maybe you don't want to talk to somebody who you perceive to be a pushy salesperson, and you are just nervous about the process. It's highly likely that you want to know if buying or refinancing is right for you. Is it better for you to stay as a renter, or is it going to be beneficial for you to buy? These are questions that are really common for people. And a bit about me, just to kind of tell you a little bit about where I came from. I've lived and worked here in Pleasant Hill, California, Diablo Valley, San Francisco Bay Area here. I've lived here for pretty much my entire life, and I have been working in real estate here with my family. Since 2003, I've been in real estate. I love helping others achieve their goals with real estate. And I truly believe that there's nothing quite like real estate out there, okay? You can do some amazing things with real estate. You can build a lot of wealth, and you could create a lot of leverage. There are just some amazing things that you could do with real estate. I wholeheartedly believe that, and I think that it's definitely not for everybody, but I do believe that if it's not for you, it's at least worth looking into and getting your questions answered so that you know whether it's for you or not, okay? And that's what I want to help you with. Like I said, I've been involved with real estate lending since 2003. I've been a top producer consistently with my company. Our company is a nationwide company, and we're very well recognized throughout California. And I'm pretty casual and easy to work with. What you see here in this presentation is what you're going to get when you talk to me. So, that's really what I'm about, is casual and easy to work with, and producing. I will not quit. If you have a goal, if you want to achieve that goal, I will help you with that goal, and I will work as hard as you do. I will want it as bad as you do if I take you on as a client, okay? So I will not quit. I'll help you get there. So let's dive in right now, okay? The 6 most common questions that I get from new clients, new buyers, people that call me for the first time, the main questions that I get asked are these, and I'll bet you that these are probably some of the same questions that you might have if you're watching this. What's the process like? Where do I start? How do I get through the process? We're going to go through that right now. How much do I charge? How much does it cost to talk to a real estate person or a mortgage broker or a direct lender? What can I expect throughout that process? How do I know how much house I can afford? How do I do those calculations? What's my monthly payment going to be? And how do I figure that stuff out? How do I know how much I can afford? How much cash do I need to purchase a home? Many people believe that they're going to need a huge amount of money for a 20% down payment. That's just not simply the case these days, okay? Broker or banker or direct lender? What's the difference? Who do I want to work with? What's the benefits of each? And, who do I want to work with in regards to a broker, banker, or direct lender? What's the main difference of that? I need a loan fast. How quickly can I close? What's the start to finish? And how fast can I get this done? Those are the main 6 questions that I get asked on a regular daily basis. We're going to go through those right now in detail. and I can go ahead and dive into it. So first of all, question number one, people just want to know, what's the home buying process like from start to finish? Real roughly, let's kind of jump into it. Getting a pre-approval is going to be your very first step. Getting your financial ducks in a row is going to be your first step. Whether you talk to a mortgage broker, a real estate agent, or anybody, you want to know what you could qualify for financially. It makes no sense to shop for a property or try and put an offer on a property if you don't know if you can afford that. So I guarantee no matter who you speak with, whether it's me or somebody else or your real estate agent in your neighborhood, they're going to tell you that when you approach them, the very first thing they're going to do is ask you if you have a pre-approval. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is get pre-approved. I can absolutely help you with that and answer your questions in that regard. And that once you have secured your pre-approval, you're going to want to hire a real estate agent or a realtor. And I can help connect you with a realtor, or if there's somebody that you know, referrals are the best way to do it. If you know a family member that could refer you to an agent, hire a realtor, interview a few realtors, ask them questions, and hire the realtor that you want to hire. Okay, you're the boss when it comes to this transaction. You're the one that's in charge. So hire a realtor, interview them, and they should want to work for your business. Okay. Once you've hired your realtor and you have your pre-approval in hand, you want to find a home and make an offer. This is the process of this could take one weekend, this could take one day, it could take 6 months. It just depends on the market and what you're looking for. So finding a home, making an offer sometimes is the most the difficult part for a lot of buyers. Sometimes it's really, really easy. Okay, so it just depends on the inventory, the volatility, and a lot of different factors. And obviously that's going to be changing throughout, from year to year, day to day, month to month. So once you find a home and you make an offer, you're going to open escrow, and your real estate agent is going to help you open escrow, and your loan agent is going to start processing your home loan, processing the paperwork. Once you get in escrow, it's typically about 30 days or so to close your home, and you will then be the owner. Okay, so roughly 30 days after you open escrow, all the entire process goes through, and your loan is going to fund, and title is going to record. Usually about 30 days on a clean real estate transaction, you're going to go ahead and get title, and you will be a homeowner at that point. That is a basic process. Obviously, it's a very broken down, but that's the process of what's going to happen when you're looking to purchase real estate here in the California Bay Area. Question number two, okay? A lot of people are just afraid to call a mortgage broker. They're afraid to call a realtor, and they want to know how much they charge and what to expect in closing costs. A lot of people think that a real estate agent or a mortgage broker is going to go ahead and charge you money just to talk to them, and you might be surprised at what the actual situation is. So in my case, my services are no cost to you. Okay, my fees, I get paid flat fees, and I get paid directly from the banks that I work with. So when I secure a loan for my clients, the bank will pay me a flat fee, and you actually don't pay for my services. Okay, so that's definitely something that is passed on as a value add to you. You get to work with a mortgage broker like myself, and you don't really pay up front for my fees. Most pre-approvals can be done within 10-15 minutes over the phone. We could also set up an office meeting, but usually with a 10-15 minute phone call, as long as you're open and you answer the questions appropriately and honestly, you could typically get a good idea on a pre-approval within 10-15 minutes over the phone. So it's really, really easy to do. What are my closing costs when I buy a house? Okay, everybody's really concerned about closing costs. Am I going to have enough money to do this? Well, as a general rule of thumb, and again, this is just an estimate, as a general rule of thumb, your closing costs are probably going to be in the range between 1.5% to 2% of the purchase price of what you're purchasing. So as an example, if you have a $300,000 purchase, 1.5% to 2% of that $300,000, your closing costs are probably going to fall within the range of $4,500 to $6,000 in closing fees. Those are third-party closing fees, other people that are related to the transaction, not necessarily lender closing fees or real estate closing fees. But we could get into that on a more personal basis if you have those questions in regards to what are third-party closing costs. The cool thing about closing costs is you don't necessarily need to worry about them. 9 times out of 10, almost in every situation, you can either finance your closing costs or the lender can pay your closing costs for you in the form of a credit. So do not let closing costs stop you when it comes to buying a home. Or getting a mortgage. Okay. The third most common question that I get asked on a regular daily basis is, how do I know how much house I can afford? There's a very, very simple calculation called your debt to income ratio, and it's very, very simple. It's basically your monthly outgoing debts. That includes credit cards, student loans, car payments. It's not going to include like PG&E or cable or anything like that, but anything that's showing up on your credit report as a monthly outgoing debt, you're going to divide that by your monthly gross income before taxes. So this is before you take out your FICA, if you're employed, your FICA and your Social Security and all that stuff. So here's an example of that. If your total monthly income is, let's just say in this example, it's $9,798 a month, and the home that you want to buy, the mortgage, tax, and insurance are going to be $2,800 roughly. What you're going to do is you're going to add that, what your new home is going to be on a monthly basis, you're going to add that to your all other payments. This person has outgoing monthly expenses, bills, credit cards, home, other loans, student loans. In this example, this person has $1,065 outgoing in other expenses. So total monthly liabilities are then going to be $3,948. So in order to figure out your debt to income ratio, you're going to take your total monthly liabilities, divide that by your total income, and you get your debt to income ratio. In this case, the ratio is 40.29, okay? So in general, what does this all mean? In general, in order to qualify for a house and have it be a good fit for you and make it so that it's affordable for you, you want your debt to income ratio to be under 43%, okay? So the magic number is to have your debt to income ratio below 43%. Now, it's not the end all be all. There's oftentimes you could get an exception up to 50%. But most people don't want to spend 50% of their monthly income on housing expenses. So your back end debt to income ratio is going to be what you want to calculate. I can help you calculate that, but it's very easy to do. You can also go to Google and just do a quick search about how to calculate your back end debt to income ratio, and I'm sure that you'll figure it out. But it's really, really simple to do. That's how you're going to figure out how much home you can afford. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to the question number 4. How much cash will I need to purchase a home? You know, most people think there's this common misconception that I'm going to need 20% down payment. After the big real estate crash, I'm going to need 20% down payment. Nobody's doing any other programs with less than that these days. That's just not the case. You can secure a home and buy a home with as little as 3.5% down right now, okay? Now, obviously, the more you put down, the less of a loan you're going to have, and your payments are going to be more attractive. But you'd be surprised if you could go ahead and get into a property with 3.5% down, and gift funds are going to be okay if you have a family member or an inheritance or somebody in your family that wants to give you a gift. That is okay in almost every single case, okay? We have to do that on a case-by-case basis. Down payment assistance is available for some borrowers, not all, but some borrowers can qualify for down payment assistance. It's based on your income, and it's based on how many people you have in your household, and it is a state program here in California. But there are different programs that help with down payment assistance. If you can't scrape together 3.5%, we very well likely can get you down payment assistance, but it's important that you look at that. Here's an example, okay? So a $300,000 purchase, that's a down payment of $10,500. So that's not a huge amount compared to a 20% down payment that you may think is out of reach. In this example, a $600,000 purchase is $21,000, okay? So in those two examples, it is definitely possible. It is reachable, and then there is also down payment assistance that's available for some borrowers, okay? Question number 5 that I get asked on a regular daily basis. This is the big one. Why do I want to work with, do I want to work with a broker or a banker? Do I want to work with a direct lender? What's the difference between these guys? So a banker is going to be your retail bank, the where you have your checking account, where you have your savings account. There's probably about 5 big banks out there, and you probably know who I'm talking about. But there's, they're the ones with a huge advertising budget, and you see them at all the strip malls. They have the ATMs everywhere. There's 5 big banks out there mainly that are going to stick you in their own box, okay? Now, if you go and walk into your bank, you're going to talk to a bank employee who's getting paid probably just a little bit more than minimum wage. You don't know how much experience they have. It could be 3 or 4 weeks, and it could be a long time. However, the motivation that a banker has is a lot different than what a broker or direct lender has. And the main reason is a bank employee is going to be, number one, they're going to have high overhead in the bank because they got these big buildings, all these employees. You're going to have high overhead, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to pass those costs back onto the borrower in the form of a higher interest rate. Not a whole lot higher, but it's usually going to be a tad bit of a higher interest rate than something like a wholesale lender could offer you, like myself. So higher costs are going to get passed on to the borrowers. You're going to be working with a bank employee, and that bank employee's main motivation is keeping their job and serving the bank, not so much serving you. So it's a difference in motivation, whereas a broker, a banker, or an agent is going to be most concerned with making you happy, because the only way that we stay in business is by making our clients absolutely happy with us. When you walk into a bank, you never know. The person that you're talking to most likely has limited ongoing education and federal requirements. There are federal laws that brokers and direct lenders like myself have to adhere to. We have to have ongoing education on a yearly basis. We have to be tested. We have to hold 3 different licenses on the federal and state level. Whereas if you're talking to a bank employee, they don't have to do any of that. They're actually protected under the umbrella of the larger bank. So that's a huge thing in a level of expertise and knowledge in getting things through. So those are the main problems I feel in regards to working with a retail bank. Now, if you're working with a mortgage broker, direct lender, the benefits of working with someone like myself when it comes to a mortgage broker, direct lender is I don't fit you into one bank's box. Okay, I work with over 50 different lenders, and all 50 of these lenders compete for my business. They compete for my clients, and they do that in the form of offering the best interest rates, wholesale rates, sometimes pricing incentives, and they compete for my business, for my clients. Wholesale pricing means that I have a smaller shop and less employees, and that means that these wholesale lenders are going to pass wholesale pricing on to you. You're 9 times out of 10, whenever you shop me, I'm full-on confident that I'll edge out my competition, especially if it's one of the big banks. I will beat my competition when it comes to pricing, overall rate, terms, closing costs on a loan, and I challenge you to go ahead and challenge me on that issue. I would love to go ahead and be compared. Like I said before, constant education are required by federal and state compliance for someone like myself, and we do it every single year. We go through all the new rules and regulations. We're required to be caught up on all that stuff so that we can better serve you. Personally, the company that I work with, we are top 50 in production nationwide over all the mortgage companies nationwide. We're in the top 50 production nationwide in the Scotsman Guide, which is a highly regarded benchmark for evaluating mortgage companies, and we're consistently in the top 50 every single year. We're top rated with the BBB, and me personally, I've been a top producing consultant in the lending industry ever since 2003. So I'm not just getting started. I didn't just get my license. This isn't my first rodeo. I've been doing this ever since 2003, and this is what I do for a career, and this is what I'm going to continue doing for a career. So those are the main things that I believe are going to be the other thing. You know, the main thing that I think is the value add is when you work with someone like myself, you're going to get my cell phone. You're going to get me on the weekends. Sometimes you might get me on the evenings, and you're just never ever going to get that with a retail bank. Okay, so those are the main differences between a broker and a banker. And number 6, of course, everybody wants to, once they actually get in contract, they want their loan fast. How quick can I close? I told you earlier that the average escrow in California is about 30 days. It's not like that in every single case, okay? We consistently do closings on a really clean deal where everybody's working together congruently and everybody's helping each other and very, very responsive. We could do a closing for you in 10 to 14 days of submission, okay? I have direct access and communication with bank executives, decision makers, underwriters. I call them. I could get them on the phone in the click of a button. I could email with them directly. I get direct access with the decision makers through the relationships that I have. So 14 days on a clean deal, we could get your deal done in 2 weeks, okay? Here is here's an example of a deal that was just recently closed here. And as you can see, this loan was submitted on the 19th. And this was with Christmas, okay? This is a 14-day close, and there was the major 2 holidays, Christmas and New Year's Day, were here. So with this, we had 14-day closing, and that was with 2 major holidays. 14-day closing right here. That was with 2 major holidays. We do this on a consistent basis with clean, easy, fast deals, okay? So the key is getting everything done up front correctly and getting it submitted to the bank correctly. And that's what I could absolutely help you with, okay? So fast closing, yes, we could do that for you all day long. Moving on here. So those are the 6 most common questions that I get asked on a regular daily basis. Now, I hope that I was answered some of your questions. I hope you learned something new. I really hope you got some value out of it. What should you do now? The first thing that I think that you should do now is I want you to get my free guide on how to get approved within the next 24 hours, okay? Wherever you're seeing this video, click the link below. There'll be a place to contact me. Get in touch with me, ask me. I'll get you a free guide on how you get approved within the next 24 hours, no problem. I'm also going to send you 100 types of turbulence to avoid when buying a home. Now, a lot of people won't talk about the bad things that could happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you up front 100 different things that you should not be doing, or 100 different types of turbulence that you could run into, and if you know about them, it's easier to avoid them. 100 types of turbulence that you could avoid or need to avoid when you're looking to buy a home or buying a home. I'm also going to give you my free rent versus owning calculator to see if a purchase makes sense for you. If you've been renting for a long time and you're just not quite sure, this is going to be a huge value add for you. Go ahead and ask me about it, or just go ahead and put your info in below. Free renting versus owning calculator to see if a purchase is going to make sense for you. Again, go to Google, Yelp, check out my other referral sites, check out what my clients have said about me. If I am not your guy, or if you don't feel comfortable reaching out to me, talk to somebody. Get a referral, talk to your neighbors, talk to somebody, and get your questions answered. Okay, so go ahead and, like I said before, follow me, give me questions on social media, give me a call, send me an email. Okay, I want to hear from you. I also want to tell you real quick about my client appreciation program. Anybody that I close a deal with, one of the things that I offer my clients is if you close a deal with me, if I help you purchase your home and you make 6 payments on time from the time that you buy the home, if you make your 6 payments on time on your new loan, I will refinance you. I will refinance your loan for a lower rate for absolutely no cost to you. Now, obviously, there's conditions to this. The market has to allow for it. If interest rates go up a big time, I may not be able to do it. But if you make 6 payments on time on your loan with me, I will go ahead and look at it 6 months later, and market allowing, I will refinance your loan with no cost to you, okay? So I also have all types of loans available: cash out purchases, government loans, VA loans for vets, 100% financing for veterans. If you have equity in your property and you want to take cash out, I can help you get an equity loan and help you leverage the value that's in your home. So with that, I want to say thanks a lot. I really appreciate you guys. I truly appreciate you being here. The last thing that I want you to do is, in your research, if you haven't already called or you weren't planning on calling, what I want you to do is just go ahead, go to Google, and just look for mortgage brokers in your area. Okay, go to Google and Google me, Google the person that you're looking for, look for reviews, and get yourself educated. And then when you're comfortable, reach out, give me a call, and get your questions answered. Thanks a lot, you guys. Make it a great day. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.